What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg. What I'm doing for you guys today is how to make $500 on New Year's Eve. I have actually done this, and I plan on doing this this New Year's Eve. So it's going to be a great video. I'm going to give you guys some tips for this holiday event. It's a killer one, probably the first or second best, like one of the best days of the year to drive. It's probably a toss-up between that and St. Patty's Day, depending on what city you live in. So yeah, $500 New Year's Eve. Right before we get going, I just wanted to tell you guys real quick about GetUpside. GetUpside is an awesome app for saving money on your gas. You get 25 cents off per gallon the first time you use it. Every time you use it afterwards, they have a really cool referral program where you get it's like a few cents off for each person you refer, or something like that. So if you're really serious about this stuff, you know gas is your biggest cost and you're gonna hop on this. Link in the description, give it a check out. I mean, if anything, use it once and then delete it. 25 cents per gallon is great. So let's jump into this. So I have almost always had a really good New Year's Eve driving day. I think I've driven it the last few years. Actually, I think I missed last year, but before that, every year that I was active, I was doing it. It's usually pretty killer. This year's might be a little bit different just because it falls on a weekday. And so I don't know how late people will stay out past midnight, because obviously if they're gonna all go to the bars afterwards, that's when you really have a solid night. But in general, I mean, I think the worst I ever did was 310 hours. Well, so 30 an hour is a really solid number. But I had 1 or 2 years where I just way exceeded that. And the reason that this happens is that it's always going to depend on your market and where you're at. But if you're in a relatively big city, it's usually just surging nonstop. I mean, and it'll be like covering your entire map sometimes. It's crazy. I can't actually ever really go to a New Year's party, because at some point in the night, I'll check the Uber app, and if I see it surging everywhere, I just get crazy depressed, and I'm like, dang, I should have worked tonight. So this is definitely a night you want to get out there. It's low risk, high reward. It's not like you're going out on a normal Tuesday hoping to make $500. This is one of the craziest days of the year, and you're just gonna want to be out there. But yeah, so let's get into this. So the biggest thing that I've learned over the last few years is you need to be a really fun driver on a night like this. You need to be really engaging, because this is a day where almost everybody that gets in your car is going to talk. And that's honestly kind of rare. I feel like most days it's, oops, I was totally blocking this road. I feel like most days it's more half the people kind of want to talk and half are just not all that engaging. And but everyone gets in your car, the very first thing they're going to say is, oh, Happy New Year's, and so what I think is, what I usually do, sorry, something really sketchy is going on in this parking lot right now. Okay, I think I'm safe, just being safe. But what the very first thing you do is you just ask, oh yeah, thank you, Happy New Year's to you too. What do you got planned for the night? And then they're talking about, the parties they're gonna go to, and out of courtesy, they'll probably ask you. And, I just usually make a joke about them. I usually say something like, oh yeah, well, my night's not crazy exciting, you're looking at it, but I have fun, I love to be out here. And then I just start asking people questions so what do what are your plans, going into this year? What are your goals, And it just creates really engaging conversations. But anyone else, now, once they get a little more drunk, you might not want to ask questions like that because they're just in a party mood. But just get some real fun music on and just have a lot of fun. Be laughing with them, be hanging out with them, just be a really engaging driver. And I promise you're going to get a lot of tips. But yeah, it's killer. The one thing about tipping is in the biggest surge hours, your tips will drop a little bit, because if somebody looks and they see that you made $30 of surge on a ride, they're probably not going to throw you a $10 bill. They're going to be like, oh, that's his tip, you know? So that's my like first thing you need to do to make, you know, close to 500 is you've got to just be crazy engaging. So the next thing is I did this one year and it was a big hit. I kept Pedialyte in my car and I was offering it to literally everyone, not even people that seemed belligerent. I would just tell everyone, be like, hey, I know you're probably drinking it. I've got some Pedialyte. And especially I would do it this year because a lot of people are probably gonna have to go to work the next day. So have some Pedialyte and be like, let's avoid a hangover, you know, because if they're getting done that late, nothing's gonna be open. And, you know, or they're just gonna be so hammered, they're not gonna wanna stop. So you having that in your car is a really like convenient thing for them because you're saving them a trip. Some other things that I've had in the past is aspirin. That's a really good one too if they're already like that point where they've got a headache. I never do this really on any other day, but I do this on this holiday. I'll carry around the little bottles of water. I've never done it in the past, but I do it on New Year's because again, it's another day where like people drink excessively on this holiday, you know? So any items, snacks, water, aspirin, Tylenol, Advil, Pedialyte, anything that's like anti-hangover, even though that's not really true, but anything that's going to help people from possibly avoiding a hangover, you want to have in your car because these are things that are going to go an extra mile with people. And I mean, let's really talk about what your investment is there. You could probably get Pedialyte, aspirin, water, and even some snacks for like $20. And if that's going to contribute to possibly $40 in tips, might as well, you know, who knows? So these next things I would say are the most important. And I've done this every year. Surge hacking is like so vital for this night. And I do have a video out on surge hacking, but essentially what surge hacking is when there's really poppin' areas, or if I see like a $10 plus surge, I turn the app off and I either drive to the middle of it if I think it'll last, or I set a destination trip into the middle of it because I don't want to get a $3 surge that I'm in at the moment. I want to get to that $10 one. So then when I get there, what I'm doing is if the app's off, I don't turn the app on. I set a destination for like the opposite direction, like an hour away. And then I'm just going to cancel rides until I get like a 45-minute plus ride. You might see some of the highest surge nights, surging you've ever seen on this night. Yeah, I mean, you should. I don't know. But I, in the past, have seen like some of the craziest surges ever on New Year's Eve. So like you can make your entire night if you get some crazy huge high surge and you book a 45-minute plus trip. I mean, even a 30-minute plus trip, you're going to make bank like just off one ride. So this is a night. What's great about this is you can risk this like as many times as you want. What I would recommend is use two destination trips with surges before midnight because you'll get 2 more after midnight. So if you see good ones during the day, don't hold out. Take it. Like set that destination and get a good ride because you'll be able to do them 2 more after midnight. Like I said, I don't think people will be staying out super, super late. But, I mean, the ball drops at midnight. They're going to be going home anywhere from 12 to like 1:30. I just don't think people will be out till like 2:33. But so after midnight, you're going to get 2 new surges, and then you can use those again, you know? So you can kind of get 4 surges in one shift if you know, or destination trips in one shift if you use them the right way. And that could literally be, I mean, $200 in those 4 rides. Like those longer trips can easily be $50 rides. So surge hacks and destination hacks are crazy, crazy, crazy important. Like more on this day than ever because it can be your entire earnings. I make a killing doing these surge hacks just on weekends. On New Year's Eve, it's like God status. I mean, it's ridiculous. The next biggest thing that's really important is a lot of people don't realize that traffic gets really, really bad in like bar and clubbing areas. So most bars and clubs are going to do big, huge New Year's Eve bashes. They're going to have some discounted shot or something that's going to bring in a ton of people. And then they dance and get, you know, all effed up going into the new year. And so those downtown areas can get just absolutely blasted with traffic. And one year, and I've told this story a few times already, but I'm gonna tell it again. one year, I spent like 30 minutes or so in traffic actually through midnight. And I picked up this ride at like 11:45, and they were trying to get to this club for the ball drop, and I just said, guys, it's not going to happen. I'm really sorry. Like, there's just crazy traffic. And they were like, oh, it's cool. You know, we're not, you know, upset. We'll celebrate with you. So it was fun. You know, the ball dropped and we were having a blast. We were dancing and yelling in here. But I did lose about over 30 minutes because I was just stuck in traffic, probably at one of the better parts of the night. Maybe. I guess right at 12, no one's really leaving. But anyways, I then dropped them off at like 12:10, 12:15. And that little 15-minute of window, I might have gotten a really solid ride, but I think I still got really solid rides, if I remember correctly. So the traffic, like I said, very, very dicey. Normally, I would say use a destination trip to get out of traffic. Like if I'm in it, I usually set it to the exact opposite direction, but you're going to want to save your destination trips tonight or on New Year's. So the good news is it's probably really only going to be traffic in like downtown areas or heavy bar areas. So it shouldn't be too hard to get out of it, but I wouldn't spend a crazy amount of time in it if you don't have to, because there's going to be so many house parties that will create surging too that I think you'll do fine just about anywhere. Now, another trick, and this, you know, you've got to feel this out and see if it's right, but a lot of times if there is such bad traffic in the busiest surge areas, it makes more sense to kind of skim the outskirts of it and collect a bunch of like $3 to $6 rides, because you'll do them quicker and you'll do more than if you wait, you know, 40 minutes to give one $15 surge ride. You see what I'm saying? So you got to feel that out for yourself. I can't tell you if you need to do that or not, but it's something I've done a lot in the past on weekends. If there's a concert or something, I'll kind of skim those outskirts and get a lot of the cheaper rides. But they you know, they end up being better for me, you know. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Best of luck out there on New Year's Eve. I really hope we all kill it. I'm super pumped for it myself. And you guys have a great rest of your week.